Hey everybody, I'm Zee Garcia, and today we're taking a look at the stock market manipulation game, Hab Gut. In this game, most everything that you find normally in stock market and stock manipulation games has been stripped away, and you've been left with the core essentials. Have the most money at the end and win. Buy and sell resources. Affect the market. That's it. That's all you're going to be doing. With one small twist on top of that, and that is you have to give away to charity, because if at the end of the game you've given away the most, you're eliminated from possibly winning the game. So let's go ahead and take a look at this game. I'll give you a quick overview. I do want to mention before I even go down to the table that I'm not normally a fan of stock market games. It's a theme that I don't find interesting, and it's a genre I largely avoid. So why am I reviewing this? Do I like this game? Am I giving too much away already? Let's just cut to the table. The game's going to be played over 2 rounds, and each round is going to have 4 turns in it. Each of those turns has 2 different parts to it. So, to set up the game, we have the central board here, which marks the values of all of these different commodities. And over here, we have the stocks for those different commodities. Each player also begins with $300, and they have a board in front of them. And these cards here are the ones that are going to manipulate the market. Each player, however, does not have one of these in front of them. You instead share one with your right-hand neighbor and your left-hand neighbor. And so this board here, this tray, is between these 2 players. This one is between this player and this one over here. And then the one I've got in front of me right now, I'm sharing with this player. So you're looking at a 3-player game right now. Each turn in the game goes like this. The first part, I am going to do as much as I want of the following. I can, and I may, A, buy or sell stock up to 3. I cannot buy and sell. I can either buy up to 3 or sell up to 3 or neither. And then I may take one of my stocks and put it over on the board here, giving it to charity. Once everyone has done this, then the second part of the turn goes off, which is starting from the start player. Whoever has the start player marker, I am going to take a card from my left hand tray and a card from my right hand tray and play them both. One of them is going to affect the market at full strength, the other one at half strength. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through one of the turns, but basically once we've done those 4 turns, then we are going to deal with the stuff we gave to the to charity, and I'll get to that in just a little bit. So it's my turn first. I am going to begin my turn by, I would take a look at these cards and look at those cards over there, and I would buy, so let me peek here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and buy 2 stocks of the green here. So I'd buy those 2. The current value is 40, so I would pay 80 for that, putting back 100 and taking 20 as my change. And then I may, again, take one of these and give it to charity right here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to hang on to these. Then it would be that player's turn. They are going to buy 1 green, and they are going to buy, they're going to take a look at their board here. Okay, they are going to buy 2 in black, which is coal, I believe. So they would buy 2 of those. Again, all the values right now are at 40, so that's 120. They are going to pay that and take their change. And now they could, again, give one to charity. And you know what? They're going to go ahead and do that. They're going to give one of their coal shares here to charity on their board. And then it would be this player's go, who is going to, knowing everything they know, they're going to buy, let's say, 3 in yellow. So again, that's going to be 120. Once this is all done, and everyone has done that part of the turn, then we go to the second part of the turn, in which, starting from the start player, I get to affect the market. This player is going to go ahead and give one to charity as well, okay? So I'll affect the market by playing one card from each of my two neighboring card displays here. I'm going to play this one at full strength. It says +6. So I'm going to go ahead and raise the value of this by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Making the new worth of those shares 70. And I'm going to play one from my other neighboring tray at half value. And I'm going to play this one here. At -6 is what it says. So I'm going to play it at -3. Dropping this 1, 2, 3, making those worth only 25. Then it'll be the next player's go. That player is going to, they bought green and black, so they are going to play this one at half strength, which is +2 in red, so it just goes up 1. And they're going to play one from here at full strength, probably. That's 6 in black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then finally, this player would go, and they are going to play this one at full strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And one over here at half strength. They'll play this yellow one +4 at half strength. 1, 2. And that is it for one turn. Then we pass the start player marker. And the next player is going to start by buying or selling shares. That player will do it. I'll do it. Again, you can give to charity. And then we'll affect the market once again. So they can either right now buy up some brown, which is very cheap. They could maybe buy some of the white, the salt, which has not been affected yet, but they've got the information on the two trays to help them figure out what they want to do. Once we've taken 4 turns around the table, then we go to our player boards and we sell these shares for whatever the current market value is. We take all that money and we put it right here on the boards to give to charity. Once that's done, we clean all this up. We deal out 8 new cards to each tray. The market will stay unaffected. The shares that players are holding, that's unaffected. But we basically do it all again. Once again, being allowed to give to charity. Once that's done and you've played 4 rounds again that way, then we are going to figure out, first of all, once you sell whatever's left here and again convert that into money and see how much you gave to charity. We're going to compare what everyone gave to charity, and whoever gave the least is eliminated from the game. They cannot possibly win. Everyone else is going to sell any shares they still have at that point back for whatever it is worth at that moment. You compare how much money you've got, and whoever has the most money is going to be the winner of the game. And that's all there is to it. Only other things to remember are that you cannot buy a share if it's unavailable, that you cannot buy and sell at the same time, and that you always have to play a card from one tray, one from the other, one at full strength, one at half strength. That's pretty much all the rules in the game. So let's go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of this stock manipulation game. All right, so that is Hab Gut. Let's talk about it. I'm going to start with thematic ties. Is the theme original? Is it well implemented? It's certainly not original. As I said, I know I'm bringing to the table a bias against this theme. However, I will say that while highly abstracted, I think the theme is well implemented. The idea of buying stocks or selling them and then having insider information which is going to affect the market. All very, very much abstracted, all a single step, right? All of the entirety of knowing something's going to change in the future, having insider info, having tips that you heard through the grapevine, just knowledge of which way the trends are going. All of that is simply abstracted to pull a card, play it, pull a card, play it at half strength. That's it. I like that. That works for me. So while the theme isn't, an oomph kind of theme, I still think it works. The aesthetics, component quality, congruent artwork, things like that. For the most part, the components are good. The main glaring issue being the paper money. It's paper money, so I don't like it. I don't think it's particularly good quality paper money. That's fine, though. I'm not sure that they could have come up with a better alternative when there's this much money changing hands, and you need to make a little stack of it on your player board that, ideally should be hidden from the other players. But it's still not great. The rest of the components are very nice. Card quality is nice. The board looks good. The nice large pawns are very tactile and pleasant, so it works. But there's very little in this game. As I said, everything does feel highly abstracted, and that usually will lead to very few components. Replayability. Does the game give you new things to discover from play to play? The main thing that I think adds to the replayability is that you will discover how to time things the more you play, when to tip your hand, so to speak, as to something that you intend to shoot up or really tank in the market. But that coupled with how much are you willing to push your luck. You are sharing those cards with an opponent that likely does not share your enthusiasm for salt being, at incredible prices, at shooting all the way up to those prices. So how long do you wait until they pluck that card and play it at half strength when you were intending to play it at full strength? So there's that. On top of that, of course, you've got the idea of giving away to charity and being eliminated outright from the game. And that's cool. Playing the table a little bit. Seeing if most people are really giving away to charity, well, you probably want to catch up. Or if most people seem to be holding their stock back. There's usually a moment in the game where the doors break, right? The dam explodes open and people start doing it, and you got to jump in on that. Or maybe you're the one who's ready to start making that run. And also, as soon as you give a card to charity, you're not cashing it in immediately. So if you give them a card that's great right now and later on that stock really plummets, you did not actually give that much charity, even though when you put the card there, you thought you would be. So there's that as well. Game length. Is it interesting the whole time? Is it repetitive? It's the kind of game that could certainly be repetitive if it was longer. But playing 2 whole rounds, just 4 turns each player, is punchy. It's quick. It's a fast game. You cut right to it. Yes, you're doing the same thing from round to round, but right away after the first round, the market's going to be so different. What you buy and sell is going to start to matter. The information you have and what's available to you starts to dwindle. You have all that information right off the bat, but it does start to go away. So what do you affect? When do you do it? All of these things are going to be interesting. And so I think the game length really goes hand in hand with the how simple and quick everything is to not make the game feel repetitive and drawn out. So good game length there. Ease of play. Is the game fiddly in any way? Are there any extraneous rules? The exact opposite is true in this game, right? There's very few rules. There's very little going on. The game is anything but fiddly, except for maybe having to handle paper money, but that's not really an issue with the game. So no, the game is absolutely streamlined. It's about as clean as it gets. There is not an ounce that they could remove from this gameplay to streamline it, really. And then lastly, tactics and strategies. The game too lucky? Does it feel balanced and interesting? I would say there's certainly a lot of both tactical reactions in the game, but also strategy. You do have the entire round, which is 50% of the game, and you'll do it twice, to plan what you intend to do. You see all the cards on one side of you and the other. The only thing in the game that you are fighting really against is, well, those players that are sharing those cards with you. And if their plans are very much different from your own. I like that. I like that you are able to both react, deprive your opponents of something, but also have a plan in place. And knowing when you should pull the trigger on one thing or another is a big part of this gameplay. Overall, I find the game to be, for a stock market game, a clever one. It's one that I enjoy playing because it attacks the theme at hand and the implications and the usual mental gymnastics that these kinds of games place upon the players in about as streamlined a way as possible, which is what I want from a stock market game. That's all I need. I don't need simulation, of real world implications. I don't want something that is work. There are people who do this for a living. I don't want to be one of them, right? I want to play a simulation of it. And this is about as abstracted as that gets. But for me, that works. So I do enjoy this game. Now, it's not an amazing game. And yes, you are doing largely the same things. Could it use a little something else? Maybe if you play it a lot, then you're ready for something else, something a little more splashy. You know, is that one twist of being eliminated at the end of the game? Maybe. Is that enough? If you don't play this game a whole lot, I think it is, you know. It's a nice palate cleanser, this game, if you play a lot of economic games and you want something that is clean, you know. This works for that. But I still don't play it all the time. And I still don't necessarily adore that genre, you know. So overall, though, Hab Gut is a well-designed game that I would certainly recommend if you like simple games that tackle big subjects in a simple way. Or if you are just a fan of economic games and you don't mind the abstraction at hand here. So I do enjoy it. This is my own copy. It's a game I've hung onto for a while. And I would certainly recommend it. So there you go. That is Hab Gut. If you can get your hands on a copy and give it a shot, if it sounds up your alley, I would certainly say do that. And thank you for joining me today. I will see you on the next one. Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com.